Hi, everybody. This is your girl Nick coming to you, giving you an update on my endocrinology appointment that I had on Friday. So, for those of you who know, I had to go see an endocrinologist because of increased insulin levels. One of my other doctors checks my blood work on a regular, and we noticed that one, it was increased, and two, it was increasing. It had doubled in approximately 3 month period. So I went to go see an endocrinologist, and she laid into me for 45 minutes on how I was living my life wrong, which I did not appreciate. And she was like, I want you to lose 12 pounds. And you see this and this and this on your body. That's signs of insulin resistance. And then she got my personal space. So her bedside manner just sucks. She put me on metformin, and I was supposed to lose 12 pounds and see her in 3 months. So I saw her about a week and a half ago for my follow up. Luckily, my husband came with me because, I kind of got the impression a little bit from him and definitely from my mom that I was over exaggerating how bad this doctor was. And he went with me and he asked a couple of questions, and I was very disappointed at this appointment because she asked me to lose 12 pounds. At that point, I had lost 17 pounds. So I beat that. She didn't even acknowledge that I had lost any weight, like no acknowledgement of it whatsoever. And then when she weighed me on like the manual scale where you slide the bars, um, she stopped it. It was like just over 217. She's like, oh, it's 218. And I'm looking at her like, no, it's not. It's 217. But I didn't say anything because I already went into this appointment really defensive. And I did not want to She-Hulk out on this girl. So I just kept my mouth shut. And then we were talking about what I'm doing as far as changes. And I'm like, yeah, so since I last saw you, I'm working with a nutritionist. We're on a 1200 calorie diet. And she just got like hyper focused on the 1200 calorie diet. She's like, this isn't good. You need to be eating more. And I'm like, well, I'm working with a nutritionist. Like, we're trying to get my weight down because I'm very unhealthy right now. And she was just super focused on that. She got in my personal space again. She wanted to recheck labs, and she was fighting me on a couple of labs. Like, I asked her to check the insulin level because I wanted to see if the metformin had any effect on the insulin level as well. And she was like, no, I don't need to check it because we know it's high. Well, yeah, I know it's high, but I want to know what the exact number is, but she would not check it. Um, so I had already resolved going into this appointment that regardless of how the appointment went, I was going to find a new endocrinologist. So I left that appointment. My husband and I kind of powwowed about how the appointment went. He was like, yeah, she's kind of condescending. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's what I was talking about. She talks to you like a little kid. And he's like, yeah, and she got in your personal space. I was like, I know, this is what I'm talking about. So, needless to say, I made an appointment with a new endocrinologist. In the meantime, I got my labs back, and this old endocrinologist called me with my labs. Um, my hemoglobin A1C, which gives a picture of how well controlled your blood sugar is over the last 90 days, that actually went down, so that was good. But that was on metformin. She took me off the metformin because I was having side effects every day from the metformin. Um, so she left me with just diet and exercise right now for managing the high insulin levels. But no, gave me no other guidance other than diet and exercise. And so my hemoglobin A1C came down. My fasting blood sugars were still normal. They were normal before. My cholesterol was high. Have high cholesterol since I was 10 years old, so that was no shocker there. Triglycerides are high. That's no shocker there. Um, they need to be fixed, but I mean, I'm doing the best I can. So, I think there's a genetic component to that as well. And then she got hyper focused again on the 1200 calorie diet. She's like, look, she's like, it's too low. You're going to lose weight. She's like, you're losing weight. Yes, good job. But no, actually, she didn't say good job. She was just like, you're losing weight. But she was like, you're going to regain the weight and you're going to gain more. And I'm thinking, well, that's not very productive in motivating your patient to continue their weight loss. Like, you're telling me I'm going to fail. How is that helpful? I don't, so I just got real defensive again on the phone, and I was just like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, yeah, I hear you. All right, bye. She wanted to see me again in 6 months, but she didn't know I ain't coming back. So I made an appointment with another endocrinologist, an office that my nutritionist actually referred me to. Her husband is a patient there. She loves them. So I got in. They were able to squeeze me in because they didn't have any openings. It's January now. They didn't have any openings until April, but they were able to. They had an opening come up, and the front desk girl really worked with me and got me in. So I saw them 2 days ago. This doctor was wonderful. She had an excellent bedside manner. She took her time. She did not rush. She got a complete medical history. And we came up with a plan. So right now, since I just had some blood work, she is going to get a glucose tolerance test because I haven't had one of those in a really long time. She's going to get a 2-hour glucose tolerance test to see how well my body reacts to sugar. So what happens is usually they take a baseline blood sugar, fasting blood sugar, and then they make you drink this really super, super sugary, like Gatorade type drink. And then they test you again over a couple time intervals to see how your body handles and processes the sugar. The other thing she brought to my attention is I guess I have some symptoms of PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, where you can have like irregular periods, you have elevated levels of male hormones that have physical signs like excess like facial hair and body hair, some acne, some male pattern baldness, and also polycystic ovaries. To my knowledge, I don't have polycystic ovaries. I've never had, yeah, I'm trying to think. I've never had an ultrasound of my ovaries, so I don't know. I could, but I never had any problems with, as far as I know, with that. I've been on birth control since I was 18 and I'm 34. So my periods come pretty regularly. Even before the birth control, they came regularly. So I don't have that problem. But I do have some of the physical signs of elevated male hormones. Like I have, in my opinion, some excess facial hair. We're not going to get into that, but I do. I feel like I'm kind of hairy for a girl over my body. So that's a sign. I do have acne, which can be pretty bad. Not so much on my face because I use a medicine on my face, but like on my chest, I get acne. And I have very thin hair, and I do lose a lot of hair. And women in my family um, tend to go a little sparse up here and get kind of baldish. So she was just concerned. She doesn't say I have it, but she's concerned. So she wants to check a couple things. So we're also doing a cortisol saliva test, which you put this little cap thing under your tongue for like a minute to soak it and do it for 2 nights, and then you hand it back into them. So we'll see what happens with those. The plan is to get those tests done. I'll go back and see her in 3 months for a follow-up, and we'll make a plan on what to do pending the test results. So I'm very pleased with this new doctor, and I'm very hopeful that we can try to get this under control because I don't want diabetes. I know that diabetes is going to happen to me at some point. Everybody in my family is diabetic. Like everybody in my family is diabetic. So I always say it's not a matter of if I become diabetic, it's when I become diabetic. So I'm already showing signs of it now at 34, which is kind of scary. I thought I had more time. I thought this is a problem I would not be facing until I was like in my 60s at least, kind of following my mom's pattern. But I'm showing signs of it now, and I'm trying to slow down the progression so I don't have a problem, a year from now or 2 years or 5 years from now where I'm full-blown diabetic. This also puts me at increased risk for gestational diabetes. When the time comes, my husband and I start a family, this could very well be a problem for gestational diabetes very easily, which can affect the child and my health. So, I'm trying to get a handle on things, trying to get my body right, trying to get my mind right, before that happens. So, just wanted to give you an update on what's happening with endocrinology, and I hope you guys are having a good day. Peace.